7:35 on a beautiful Monday. We want to welcome again to our studio, well, by telephone, Fred Ramey from Searcy, Arkansas. Good morning, Fred.
Good morning, Dale. How's everything on the hill?
Oh, tell you what, pretty weather. We just got done with our county fair, had a blast. Our fair committee does an outstanding job. A lot of activities. It's just been fun.
Yeah, we had our county fair was this past week as well.
Yeah.
And I think they said they had some record crowds out there. Had perfect weather for it. You know, I think the last I can't remember if it was last year, year before last, we nearly had a washout. It just seemed like it rained every day, and it was so muddy out there, and people just didn't want to go out there and stomp around in the mud. But I had great weather for it this week, and just huge crowds. A couple of my kids went out there and for a little while and a couple of days, and said there was a lot of folks out there, so that's a good thing. It's that time of the year, though, Dale. County fair time.
I checked the calendar on the way out the door this morning, and it said the 23rd autumn begins, so apparently it's early in the morning on the 23rd, because I knew somewhere around the 21st, 22nd, but this time it said September 23rd.
Well, I'm all for autumn beginning, but I hope the frost holds off.
Yeah.
Late November, early December. Hey, I planted some late tomatoes.
You did?
And, oh, my gosh, I've got more tomatoes than you can shake a stick at. You wouldn't believe the tomatoes I've got. I planted some in late June that came up in a pot, and I transplanted them. And, that's why I'm hoping the frost holds off, Dale.
Yeah. Have you all been getting the rain?
What's that?
You've been getting plenty of rain?
No, it's a little dry around here. We got a little showers.
It is here, too. Yeah, we could use probably a good 1.5 inch slow soaker.
Yeah, speaking of that, there's a lot of burn bans around the state still. So, it's pretty dry in places. Sure is. Well, Dale, I want to talk this morning briefly about something that I don't know. You know, we normally talk about politics, but I found something interesting in yesterday's Democrat Gazette that I don't normally, I kind of glance at, and it's the high-profile section. I usually just glance over that thing and see if it's somebody that I know or I've heard of. Well, this guy's got a funny name. Did you happen to catch that yesterday?
I did, but I don't remember.
Well, he's got a funny name, which kind of piqued my interest here.
He was the featured high-profile guy?
Right, and right on the front page, high-profile section D. His name is Dominic, and I think he pronounces it Miartinik, or according to the pronunciation the paper gives here. And also, I really what I want to talk about this morning is capitalism. Okay?
Sure.
This guy gives a very rigorous defense of capitalism, and the fact that he moved here from what used to be Czechoslovakia as a kid, he came here as an exchange student to Arkansas. And I tell you what, this is just one of those rare times when I looked at something in the high-profile section and I couldn't put it down. I read the whole thing, and in fact, I read it twice. This is an interesting guy. If your listeners still have a copy of yesterday's Demozette, take a look at that. It is a very interesting guy, and I just appreciate him and all that he's gone through and worked for to succeed here in America. But he starts out, he says he lives the American dream, and this is, of course, in the Democrat Gazette, Section D. It's by Frank Fillon, writer, well-known writer for the Demozette. And he says, I think I changed 3 diapers this morning. And that, you wouldn't think that's the American dream, but he does have a wife and children. He says, I have 3 kids under the age of 2, a lot of work. This is the American dream, and that's the question. I came to this country with nothing. Miartin said in the office at Southern Bank Corp. Incorporated, and I have everything I need, even a house with a white picket fence. You don't hear people mention the white picket fence much anymore, Dale.
No, you sure don't.
That used to be the ideal American home. If you had a nice home on a quiet street and a white picket fence, well, that was that was success back then.
Go to Leapers Fork, Tennessee.
Yeah. Well, but you don't see that much anymore because they're high maintenance, and you got to keep them looking good if you put them up. And I get it. People just are more for low maintenance yards these days. But let's see. He says, and I'm grateful for that. So many kids grow up here and they don't have the same chance. That frustrates and surprises Mjartan, who immigrated to the United States at 16 years old, Dale, an exchange student from Bratislava, Czechoslovakia, who wound up in Camden, down in Washita County. The greatest, most powerful, and rewarding country in the world can't provide basic opportunities for all our kids, education, housing, and health care. We have the greatest GDP, the greatest military, the greatest system of higher education, and we can't provide a decent baseline for all our kids. He said he and Southern Bancorp are out to change that one small place at a time, one small borrower at a time, one small child at a time, and this fella is a banker. So for a kid that came here with nothing,
yeah,
and was able to become a banker in this country, it's pretty impressive. He likes to talk about milestones. An important milestone was when his parents, Joseph and Jana, sent him off to America with a plane ticket and $500. They shouldn't have, he said. They didn't have that kind of money to spare living in communist Czechoslovakia. Joseph and Jana were educated, thoughtful, spiritual people, Mjartan said. They exposed their children to many different opinions, and Bratislava is close enough to Vienna for Western influence. Here's where it started to kick in, Dale, and this is when I decided I need to read this whole article. What stood out to me was that for the greatest opportunity to succeed, it was America. Mjartan didn't pick Camden. The exchange program sent him there to live with the Eckert family, Eddie Eckert and Elaine Berg Eckert. I was delighted to come to America, Mjartan said. They could have sent me anywhere. The Eckerts, he said, confirmed to me the image I had of America. I can't think of many more people who have done so many good things for others in their lives. Had it not been for them, I surely would not be here. And he goes on down here, and he's just talking about how great America is. And Dale, that's another thing you don't hear much anymore. People constantly trashing the country. The Black Lives Matter movement, blaming everybody but themselves for their problems.
Right.
This kid came here with nothing, Dale.
Wow.
16 years old, $500 in his pocket. His parents weren't wealthy. He came from a communist country, and he succeeded here in Arkansas, of all places.
Says a lot for his character.
Exactly. He knew how to work. But Dale, why is that? I wonder. That I've got a theory on that. But anyway, I'm throwing something at you here. Why is it that people from communist countries, third world countries, they can come here and they don't get the mully grubs. Their lip don't drag the pavement. They don't go around griping and complaining and everybody's out to get me and immigrant lives matter and this all kinds of political slogans. They just get their tail to work and they see opportunity and they go for it.
Yeah.
Why don't Americans do that?
I think we're spoiled.
Well, that's part of it. Yeah. I get so sick of hearing, about, certain immigrant groups. Well, they're just taking jobs Americans won't do. Well, it's not been that long ago. I used to do some of those jobs when I was a kid, and so it is just a mentality that I'm too good to work.
Yeah.
And we talked about this a little bit yesterday in our Sunday school class. We were talking, from a biblical standpoint, how, in the beginning, God put us here,
right,
basically to work.
Yeah.
I mean, and work was a good thing. And in today's America, it's gotten to where, you want me to work to succeed?
Like, hey, I've got a 4-year college degree. I'm going to prop my feet up on the desk. I'm going to goof off all day.
Well, I know some people like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I've got a degree. Hire me to be to run your organization. Well, what experience do you have? Well, I got a degree. Yeah, but what experience do you have? Well, I got a degree. And we can go back and forth all day about this.
Staple that to the wall and get busy.
There you go. But this guy is really interesting, and it's this broke kid from Camden. It says Dominic Mjartan is a capitalist. No reservations, he says. That's why I came to this country. Capitalism is a force for good. When's the last time you heard that?
Last time we had a Republican president.
Well, yeah, that's 7 years ago anyway, at least. But Dale, you've got an entire political party that's half of the political thought here in America that thinks capitalism is evil. All this is just terrible. But
That's Bernie Sanders.
Well, not only him, Hillary's pretty much on the bandwagon as well.
Yeah. True.
You ask any major Democrat national candidate, now maybe not so much at the state level, but the national candidates pretty much trash capitalism every chance they get.
Mm-hmm.
Don't they?
Yeah, they do.
In America, he goes on here to say, there is a unique drive to create economic opportunity, he said. That's what appealed to me about America. Again, Dale, we've got a guy here who has succeeded, who moved here from a foreign country. Not a lot of opportunity back where he came from, probably.
Well, he knew once he got here it was going to be sink or swim.
Yeah. He didn't come over here and prop his feet up and say, hey, I've got a great social safety net over here. Just send me a check. Yeah, he could have.
Let's hold this thought for just a minute. We got to take that quick break. We come back and finish the show, okay?
All right.
Be right back. 7:49, continuing our discussion with Fred Ramey. Are you there?
Yes, I'm back. Well, Dale, we'll continue on here. What do we got, about 7 minutes?
6.
6 minutes. All right, I'll try to wrap it up here. Again, we're talking about this fella on the Democrat Gazette yesterday, high-profile page. And Dale, I won't go on here, and it talks about, he gives an example here. Said success should not be determined by zip code.
Say that again?
Success should not be determined by zip code. And he says, living in Helena, for instance, a place where Southern is active, he's the chief executive officer of Southern Bank Corp. And says, living in Helena, West Helena, a place where Southern is active in economic development, shouldn't mean people there can't be upwardly mobile. And again, he makes a great point here. He says, net worth is the single greatest predictor of economic mobility. Miarton said, not education, not income. It takes money to make money, and Southern serves that principle. And he gives an example here of financing a $21,000 mortgage to a woman who has worked in the Helena School District for 30 years. And he says, she rented and never missed a payment. A counselor at the bank told her, you already bought your house. So, they have Southern Bank Corp has a very interesting model where they do banking services in very small rural communities. And this is the kind of loans that they seek out. And this is the bank they work that he apparently is the chief executive officer of. And they're lucky to have him because he understands the American dream far more than some Americans do.
Mm-hmm.
And certainly he's come up the hard way. And he goes on here and he talks about his own children. Says the Miarton children have the advantage of accomplished parents. Not every child is so lucky, and that drives their father. I get frustrated, he says, at the lack of understanding of that lack of opportunity. Miarton said, we expect everyone to beat the odds, but we should even the odds. For America to expect every child to beat the odds, well, that doesn't feel right. Well, it doesn't to a lot of Americans. We just think, well, they're just going to be what they're going to be. But Dale, to get your children to beat the odds takes parental involvement, and takes parents who believe in this country and who believe that each generation can do better, and that believes that America is a force for good in the world. But you cannot raise your children in a home where success doesn't matter, and no ambition exists, that the government's going to take care of us, and while at the same time trashing the government in the form of government that we have, which is we elect our own people, we have a capitalist business model that America runs on, but yet everything is trashed in America today, and I'm getting really, really sick and tired of it.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of opportunity here. America.
Here's the thing about the opportunity. it's ours for the taking. It's not going to be given to us.
Well, that's it, Dale. But sometimes you have to recognize the opportunity, and I'm afraid that we as Americans don't even recognize it anymore.
Yeah.
You know, you see somebody that gets off the boat, or even for that matter, crosses the border, and it doesn't take them long at all to see opportunity. Well, you know, here's a little thing over here I can do, and here's something over here I can do, and you know, there's something there I can pick up $50. And next thing you know, they own their own business.
Yep.
And that is still doable in America today. It is still, and I just don't understand why people feel like they need to trash their own country. And it is, yes, we've got problems, and I hope we can fix some of them over time. It's not going to be an easy fix, but Dale, America is worth saving. Capitalism is a tremendous force for good, as this man has pointed out, and it has done more to lift the fortunes of common people everywhere in all 50 states that have come here seeking opportunity, and they found it, whether it's in Arkansas or whether it's in California or the Carolinas or the Dakotas. It doesn't matter. People come here looking for opportunity, and millions of people have found it. Yet some people just walk around with their lip dragging the ground going, well, Mary, this is a terrible country. Well, I just can't. Everybody's discriminating against me. Well, this guy's got a funny name. I couldn't even hardly pronounce it. And yet he's succeeded.
He did it.
He's done it.
I have to read the article. I still have the paper from yesterday.
It's a great article. It really is. And what he's in it's over here in the self-portrait thing, one of the things he says is what Americans should appreciate about America is our founders' belief that everyone in America should have an equal chance to succeed. And that still exists, Dale.
Yep.
It still does.
Final 30 seconds.
Well, Dale, I just want to encourage our kids today and our young people out there, find a niche, find something to do, find, and dare to dream still, Dale. This is America. Dream a dream, pursue something, get off the couch, put down the video games, and succeed. It's doable in this country today.
You betcha.
It very much is. Well, Dale, I hope you have a great week. And,
it's going to be a good one. Lots of football this week and other activities going on, and beautiful weather. Looking out the window right now, beautiful sunrise out there, clear skies.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, enjoy it, Dale.
All right, Fred. We'll see you next Monday. We're live again on the 28th.
All right. I appreciate you.
You bet. You too, Fred. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
That wraps it up. We'll be back tomorrow. I hope you have a wonderful day, everybody. Bye-bye.